Do you feel unappreciated in your relationship?
This is Love Smarter, the show for women who want extraordinary love and aren't afraid to learn for it. Here's your host, Laurie-Anne King.
In the last episode, we talked about how to recognize if you are taking your partner for granted. So if you missed that, make sure you go back and catch it. In this two-part series, you're going to learn what to do if you're feeling unappreciated by your partner. Appreciation in a relationship is like gas in your car. Without it, not much happens. If you've been feeling unappreciated, I am sorry. I know what that's like, and it's a sucky way to feel. I remember one relationship with an ex. I spent months telling him that he didn't appreciate me enough. Truthfully, this wasn't a very effective strategy on my part. If someone is really not appreciating you, you telling them that might not make that much of a difference, because how can they appreciate what you are saying if they don't appreciate you? I think that a lot of men hear some version of, "You don't appreciate me enough," and aren't really sure what to do with it. Just the other day, I was talking about this concept with a male friend of mine, and he said, "Ugh, my girlfriend says that all the time. It is so annoying." Now, my friend is a good guy, and I know that he really does want his girlfriend to feel appreciated, but he's at a loss as to how to make her feel that way. When men don't know how to produce a result, they feel really unsafe. So to cope, sometimes they will trivialize a problem that they don't know how to solve. Now, if you've been in a relationship where you feel like you're being taken for granted for a while, it's time for some tough love. Putting up with feeling like you're unappreciated or that you're being taken for granted is playing the role of the victim. It indicates that you have been too afraid to set boundaries. The truth is that no one can ever take away your power. You either give it away or you don't. So here are my first 4 strategies of what to do if you're feeling unappreciated in your relationship. Number 1, get down to the facts. You need to figure out exactly what it is that has you feeling unappreciated. Is it that he doesn't say thank you after you do his laundry? Is it that he doesn't do something that you've been asking him over and over again to do? Is it that he's not taking you on dates or he doesn't make enough time for you? You want to be aware of the tendency to exaggerate and generalize in this area. If you find yourself saying or thinking things like, "I do so much for him, and I ask for only this one teeny tiny thing, and he never does it," this is a sign that you're not dealing with the facts. You're in exaggeration and generalization mode. Words like always, never, every time are clues that you're telling yourself a story and straying from the facts. You want to get down to the facts of exactly what action or lack of action has you feeling unappreciated. So fill in the blanks. When I do blank and he blank, I feel unappreciated. Or when she blank, I feel unappreciated. Get down to the actual facts of what is going on. A feeling of not being appreciated can sometimes live like a very general feeling, an overall sense, but it can't be solved at that broad of a level. You need to actually get down to the distinct actions in order to start to solve it. Number 2, figure out what would have you feel appreciated. A common romantic ideal is that we want our partner to just know what it is we need or desire, and to give that to us without ever needing to identify it ourselves, or worse yet, actually ask for it. This is a very childlike way of relating. It is making your happiness someone else's job. When you take responsibility for your own happiness, you will have a lot more power. Now, figuring out what would have you feel appreciated might take some intellectual effort on your part because it requires you to really look. What would make me feel loved? What is missing? What do I want that I'm not getting? And again, you want to distinguish this at the level of fact, observable action. A good example is something like, I would really feel appreciated if he would help me study after work. It is your job to know what makes you feel loved and to teach and train your partner how to love you in that way. So, how do you want him to show his appreciation? Number 3, find out what he does appreciate. Do you feel unappreciated as a person, or do you feel that some of your actions go unappreciated? It is possible that the things you are doing that you feel go unappreciated are things that are simply not important to your partner. So if you're doing a lot of things that he never asked you to do and are not important to him, you might be waiting a long time for that appreciation. See, I am pretty messy, and my husband, very clean. But I don't like dirt and grime on things. And to my husband, that doesn't seem to matter. I don't even think he sees it, to be honest. So the last time we were cleaning the house together, he's tidying up the living room and I'm scrubbing the burners on the stove. He comes in and looks at me like I'm insane, totally wasting my time, because clean burners are just not important to him. And you know what? I love him anyway. If there is something in particular that he never acknowledges or says thank you for, you could ask him if he appreciates it. Hey, do you like that I always make the bed in the morning? Is that something you'd like me to keep doing? If he says yes, then tell him what you need to feel good about doing that for him. Okay, I'm happy to keep doing it, and I'd like you to say thank you every time I do. If what you're doing doesn't matter to him, then either choose to do it for yourself because you like it, or stop doing it. Find out what he does appreciate. Ask him, what are the things that I do for you that you appreciate the most? Then, if it pleases you, do more of that thing. Number 4, give appreciation. This might sound counterintuitive, but if you want something, one of the best ways to get it is to give it away. The law of reciprocity is very strong, and it has humans want to return the favor. If you're wanting more appreciation, a great strategy is actually to give out more appreciation. Especially if you have been complaining about being taken for granted or not being appreciated for a while. It's highly likely that your partner also feels like they are being taken for granted or not being appreciated. Because to even be able to make the complaint, you don't appreciate me, it implies that you are not appreciating all of the things they have done or have said that weren't enough for you to feel appreciated. Remember that ex I mentioned, the one I complained to for months that he wasn't appreciating me? Well, I have to admit that I wasn't appreciating him either. I had just found a job in a new remote town a few hours north, and when he ended up with some unexpected free time, he took a float plane up to see me. And we hadn't been together for more than an hour before I asked him, "Why didn't you bring flowers?" He stood up to me for the first time and said, "I just flew here to see you. Why didn't you bring me flowers?" He was right. I had been so blinded by what I wasn't getting, I was totally missing what he was giving me. So be generous with your praise and practice giving appreciation out. That's it for this episode. Join me for part 2, where we go into 4 more strategies of what to do if you're not feeling appreciated by your partner. Until then, love smarter. Hey, did you like this episode? Then you will love my upcoming live online class. You'll leave with insights that improve your love life immediately. Plus, you'll have the chance to ask me anything. This class is completely free and it always fills up quickly. So head on over to laking.tv/free class to register right now. See you in class.